Anyway, so Victoria, it's good to
Yes.
see you once again.
Good to see you as
How
well.
have you been, though?
I have been fantastic. Everything seems progressive.
Great. The transformation is amazing, I must say. And kudos to you for that.
Thanks to God.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So are you now a pastor?
Wow. So the energy has started already?
It started already, because we want to know, if you're a pastor, are you a pastor?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I haven't been ordained yet, but currently I'm going through the process of being ordained.
Okay.
So hopefully by the grace of God, I'm waiting to be ordained.
Wow. So when should we look forward to your ordination?
I cannot really say right now because I don't want to just, make up any fixed
So it's actually a journey, right?
It's a journey. It's a journey. You need to be groomed. You need to be prepped. You need to be taught of the things of God, the books, the words of God, and even how to actually put yourself out there, evangelism, preaching the word and getting people on board for the work of God. And also putting yourself in the commitment, the dedication is a whole lot.
Did you ever know that you go into ministry one day?
Yes, I knew. I had that call for a very long time.
Okay.
When I was very little, pastors would tell my mom, oh, wow. And I actually thought I was going to marry a pastor to be that kind. And so never did I know that it would toe towards that line where I would particularly be in the middle of the whole picture as a woman of God.
Wow, that's nice. So is your husband also going to be a man of God? Should we see that? Is it happening?
I don't know. It's in an individual preference.
Okay.
And so I don't know, but I know he is very spirit-filled as well. And he is a believer. He's a strong believer. He has his own beliefs. And so I don't know that if he's going to go into that. But for now, it's me right now.
That's great. We love that. Now, let me ask you this, because I know most people who have seen your works will say that there are so many judgmental Christians out there. And you towing this line will mean that they feel, most Christians who are judgmental, not all the Christians out there, because I'm not judgmental, I'm a Christian. But those who are judgmental will feel that if you are towing the line of being, a minister one day, then obviously you can't have a husband who is in the club blogging these, secular musicians and all of that. So how are you going to handle all of that?
Okay. So about judgmental Christians, you need to understand the ways of the Lord. As a Christian, you're not just a Christian and you're put there to be in church or to be seen praying alone. You need to understand the ways of God. God loves people who are vulnerable. God saves sinners. God saves people who actually, you may think that they are not perfect. He makes the imperfect perfect. And so we all have our individual lifestyles. We all have our good sides and our bad sides. Doesn't mean anybody at all should be thrown away or anyone doesn't fit to be in that criteria. And so, like I said, it being a journey, the things that have been taught, the ways of the Lord is the same way I will impact into my children, into my household, my husband. And so it's all part of it. It makes it even more beautiful.
That's so true. That's so true. Now, let me ask you this. Are you still acting, though?
Yes, I am.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So right now, will you accept all roles, or there are some roles that you will not accept?
I don't want to say I won't accept all roles because acting is acting. You need to be able to understand everybody's careers and how they play a role in a specific jurisdiction. As an actress, I'm to actually be in the shoes of someone, to tell a story, to inspire, to motivate, to touch someone, to actually say that, oh, these things happen, and they can actually learn from it. And so if you say because you're a woman of God or you're a pastor, you can't play this, or acting is actually what made me. It's my first love, my first career path. And so there's no way I'm going to throw it away because I'm a woman of God. All I need to know, all I need to do is to fuse in my abilities, God-ordained abilities, into the acting. Because there are so many ways that you can, play a role. Even though you're giving a script, if I'm giving a script to perhaps play a prostitute role, that role is very impactful because for how I'm going to play it, I'm going to make sure that the God-ordained ability is that for whoever you are, whatever you are, there is a possibility of change in you. And so playing a role, thank you. And so playing a role of a prostitute doesn't mean you are a prostitute.
What about you if you're asked to kiss?
If you're asked to kiss...
Or have sex scenes?
As for the sex scenes, normally we act it.
Right.
It's not really like entirely real. Yeah. And so, yes, you know, all these things, you know, when they're giving the stories, it's ending somewhere. So what happens and what happens next? So that's the whole transition.
Right.
That's what makes it changing.
Right. That's what makes it changing. Great. Now, let's also talk about your career path when we saw you coming into the media stream a bit, and then all of a sudden you just left the media stream. What happened? Because you were a producer at a point at EIB, right? Yes.
I was actually doing journalism. So I was a journalist for some time.
Okay.
I went there because of you know, trying to use my abilities to be able to bring out that skill in me as a storyteller, journalist, you know, humanitarianism, making stories that are impactful. And so when I started, it went quite great. But at the time, I was in school as well.
Okay.
I was in AUCC studying development communication.
Okay.
And so immediately after, you know, just at the edge of going for the final examinations, I had to actually have a break. And then right after the exams, I got married.
Okay.
So I think I got married before the exams. Yes. So it was a whole lot of transitioning. A lot of things were happening at the time. I don't know if it was a doing of the Lord because he knew how I was going to turn out. And so I always use myself as an example, as an inspiration, because it's not easy to be known for one thing and then change to another thing. You need to make sure that you are making yourself impactful enough for it to make sense.
That's so true.
And so a whole lot of things happened just right after the marriage. I had to take a pause, finish my exams, and then get back to it. Whilst I came back, and I swayed off from the journalism to production. Then, by the grace of God, I took seed.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Yes, I took seed, and beautifully, things just kept going on and on. I started my business, the Skin Pop Shop.
We'll talk about that as well, because your skin is popping, girl.
Thank you. Entrepreneurship came in, and I needed to build the foundation really strong so that when I get to a certain stage that I know that, yay, we're here, that I know that I've accumulated a whole lot for us to roll with. And so that's why I got away for some time and then came back after a while.
That's great. That's great. But I don't think you got away, though, because some of us, we had our eyes on you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many of you had your eyes on her. Did you? Yeah, we had our eyes on you because we didn't see you vanish, right?
Yeah, I think I was still active.
Yeah, you were very active.
I was still doing, a couple of things that I could do because I had to make sure that, you know, I'm not solely leaving the scene because I know a lot of people also look up to me over there. Yeah. And so I do this a little bit, I go here a bit. I multitask a lot. I'm multifaceted. And so I do this, I do that, I do that. And it makes me, that's how I get my energy.
That's great. We love you for that.
Thank you.
We want to also know how it's like to marry a blogger.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's always out there. How's it like?
Well, I think it's a little bit normal, just as any other career path of anyone's spouse. But I should say it's in line with what I do too. Because if he's out there, perhaps it's an event that needs me to also be there or grace it. Okay. I'm also there equally. And so it makes it more easy. Okay, you have to go to this program. Yeah, he's doing the job. Right. And that's how I knew him before we actually got married. Oh, you met him on the job? Yes, I met him on the job. Tell us how you met him, though. Are we not interested? Yes, we are.
So tell us, how did you meet him?
Oh, I met him on the job. I met him at OKFM. Yes.
All right.
I think I was a panelist on the show. And so that's how we met,
Oh, no,
casually.
we are interested. We are interested. So when you met him that day,
we
what
met
happened?
casually. It was a casual meeting.
Okay.
And then it goes on and on, you know.
He took your number.
He knows me as Victoria Lebene, an actress. And that's it.
So he took your number that day.
Oh, Feli. Send number there,
And then he messaged you.
Oh, yes, we got talking. Yeah, but it was more in a very subtle note.
Okay.
Because at the time, I had the impression that, hey, you've got to be careful with industry guys, okay? So, you know, as a woman, if you're giving yourself to everybody, you're going to get used.
Yeah.
So I had that at the back of my mind.
Okay.
In as much as I was very, you know,
out
there, fearless, vogue and all that, I still had that at the back of my mind because I knew that if I would settle, I'll settle with someone I really like and really, So I knew I had that at the back of my mind. And so I tried for us to take it easy and on a calm note to make sure that we knew each other very well. We liked each other and we knew what we were getting into way before we even headed towards marriage.
So how long did you date?
I think we dated for like about 3.5 years.
Wow, and we didn't know?
Yes.
We didn't know?
Yes.
How did you do it?
I mean, it's individual preference to keep things away from the media. If you really love something and it's not for clout, you will try and take it away from the eyes of the people, you know. So we try, like I said, on a quiet note, getting to know each other, knowing you, knowing me more, because that's the foundation of every relationship. You need to know each other more. If I know you and there's a, you know, a but, and I think I'm okay with that but to go with, I don't mind, I could go with you.
You could go.
And so we made that really firm before we decided to go towards marriage.
I don't know why I'm so interested in this particular topic, so I might
because
here a little bit, because I'm asking all the questions
because
that people
we hit it from you guys.
You know, but let's know. You said you were a bit scared of industry people. You didn't know if you really wanted to be with an industry person.
Yes.
What did he do to change your mind?
He seemed to be very different from the few men that I had met. When you speak to him, like because I'm a very deep person, when I'm having an encounter with you, I make sure I raise deep, you know, questions or statements, things that I want to derive from you, the feedback I want to get from you. So I realized that from some of the questions and the conversations that we had, he had a very in-depth knowledge about it, and he was very home-based, homebound, like you could feel that home training from him. So I was like, how's this person doing this job? And having to be thinking like this, wow. Then you don't have to judge a book by its cover. You have to get closer to the person, know the person in depth. Perhaps maybe a juma oye, but who nim or no ankasa neti bia anane wonimu anane wana dream. And so I studied a lot. I asked a lot of questions. I saw a lot of things, and you know, he's very accommodating to change as well. And I believe that you've seen that a lot of things have also changed.
Oh my gosh, girl! You are in love. You're in love. Is marriage sweet?
Marriage is sweet.
Yeah.
You know it's sweet.
I know it's sweet. And you enjoyed every bit of marriage.
I am, by the grace of God. You know, when you add God to everything, he makes it so beautiful. Even if there are challenges with God, everything changes. And that's why I'm excited to be on Change today.
Oh my God, we love you. You know, celebrity marriage actually comes with a lot of controversy.
Yes, it does.
Yes. How do you manage yours?
Okay, so before we got into marriage, we weighed a lot of things, like I said. We spoke about a lot of things. We knew what we were getting ourselves into, and so we were well abreast with some of the things that would come so that we are led and then we know how to handle it. So, but you see, when you don't do all these planning, all these pre-activities or pre-knowledge, then when you go into it, there are surprises and you're like, oh my God, I don't know how to handle this. I can't take it anymore. But because we knew what we're doing and we understood the job, we were prepared, and anything that comes, We just tackle it with wisdom and we're good to go.
That's so beautiful. That's beautiful. So we have 2 children, right?
Yes, 2 children.
2 lovely.
2 beautiful children.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
1 girl and 1 boy.
Oh wow,
Yes.
that's nice. Yeah, I always thought it was 2 girls. That's lovely. How many more to go?
We're looking up to God. We want to try and, you know, take things easy, do some more work, because we need work to also sustain the children's foundation.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you have a program coming up as well.
Yes, I do.
I've seen you almost everywhere, and I'm super proud of you, because you know what? Those of us who have known you for a period
Yes.
know the transformation
Yes.
is amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your event.
Great. Thank you for giving me that platform to do that. I am currently an ambassador for Global Entrepreneurship Festival. It's the biggest global entrepreneurship festival that's yet to happen in Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Akure, from 22nd November to 24th November. And this festival is coming on board with a lot of dignitaries, diplomats, investors all across the world, Asia, Japan, UK, USA, China, and so forth. And so because of that, I am gearing up a lot. I am gearing up a lot. I've taken it upon myself to push and promote SMEs and their CSRs. SMEs and their CSRs. You know, CSRs are not so sustainable in the corporate world as much. You know, a little private people that are able to go do some corporate social responsibilities. But if all businesses or some, you know, and a number or a percentage of businesses could sustain their CSRs, I think it's a grounds to promote more success when it comes to business. And so that's what the VL exposure is all about, just to promote SME startups as well, innovative ideas of individuals, people who have, you know, creative ideas, business ideas, and don't know how to go about it. Already existing businesses that want to know the strategies in business development. This program is meant for you. And so it's a whole
I'm amazed, I must say. How did you get here, Victoria? I mean, from acting to what? You know, to media space and Sofomami and now VL exposure.
Yes.
And it's business.
Yes.
You have a business as well.
Yes.
We'll delve deeper into the VL exposure. Now let's talk about the Skin Pop shop, because I think that will let us understand what the VL shop really is about.
Yes.
So tell us about it.
Great. So I actually don't have any business managing background, you know, in terms of academics. I did development communication, and that's towing towards more of, you know, good governance, politics. So currently I'm just playing a role as a humanitarian, learning and doing the grounds work, helping people from the core grounds, you know, the areas, my society, my communities. And so due to that, I've been able to acquire the knowledge and the wisdom to actually impact to society and my community in terms of what I do. And so I found myself doing business because, I mean, I acquired it from within. It's one of my skills, my talents. And my mother was also a very reputable businesswoman. And she did really good at her time. And so I could tell that that's how I developed all that edge. So because of that, being able to, I also study on the job. I do a lot of researches, knowing how to handle a business, run a company, you know, even operating the business for it to survive to a certain level. And looking at our economy now, things are not so rosy. A lot of businesses are collapsing, you know, closing up. But with that knowledge and wisdom, by the grace of God, that I've been able to acquire, I use that to handle my business. And this is what I want to disseminate to people.
How difficult was it for you to start the Skin Pop shop?
It wasn't difficult because I always believe in planning. And so I planned ahead. I think it took me 6 years.
6 years?
Yes.
To start?
To start, because the urge was there. The passion to do something, like own a company, was there. So all I did was to write them down, work on it. What do I need? How do I need to go about it? And I used myself as an example all the time. because I had blemishes on my face.
Okay, so is that why you decided to go
Yes,
skin?
I used to have a lot of blemishes, pimples and acne. And as an actress, a lot of people were like, can't you do something about this? You're always on screen. Can't you do, I think you should work on it. So, you know, different, I'm like, okay. What can I do to actually make this work? And so I used that as a case study.
Okay.
Because I knew a lot of people also had that challenge, because it doesn't give them confidence. So I researched, I looked into things. What can I use that way it doesn't bleach me? And so I used quite a number of things that didn't go well. Okay. It'll bleach you, turn your color into
I'm looking at your whole body and I don't see any bleaching here.
Thank you. And so we went back and forth. I met a doctor who was from Los Angeles, now in Nigeria. He's a dermatologist. Wow. I acquired some knowledge also from him. I studied how they do the formulations. I went through training. And then, lo and behold, I was able to put something together for myself.
Wow, I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Yeah. And you do the creams yourself, the soaps and all?
Yes, I am one of the team leaders for production. And I also have a whole team for formulation. We have a laboratory that we manufacture all these authentic natural skincare products.
So they are all natural?
They are all natural, solely natural. We don't use chemicals at all.
Wow.
Yes.
I really want to know if Ghanaians are patronizing in it. How's the
patronage my goodness. You want me to use this platform to say a big thank you to Ghanaians for their love?
You should say it.
Wow. Which camera should I talk to?
I think that's your camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ghana for Mesdames, Mwase, Papa. Modoba Bako, Victoria Lebene is right here to say a big thank you. The love that they show for our products, the Skin Pop Shop, even the recommendations alone.
That's
great. It's so beautiful. And I really want to say thank you. But I urge everyone who hasn't tried our products to at least try it. Yeah. I know people break out a lot. Not all skincare products work for a specific kind of person. Yeah. And so, but that's why we have different variety of products. We have 57 variety.
57?
57 and counting. Okay. Because as we journey on, we keep getting feedbacks and we keep formulating things that we think that would switch from someone's blemish to a better, you know, looking face or skin. And so we've done quite a lot of job. We've helped a lot of people, you know, helping their confidence. A lot of people come and they are not able to even speak to us. Someone send a picture. It's difficult because perhaps it's as bad as they don't want it, they don't want you to put it out there. But we seek the confidentiality of our clients before we perhaps post it before and after. And so anybody that hasn't tried, they should at least try the Skin Pop Shop.
I think you should. And I know my studio audience will definitely be trying it, right? I hope your questions are ready, though, because I'll be coming to you very soon. I don't know who has the microphone. Is the microphone there? Anybody with a microphone? Okay, so it's there. So I just want you to put a microphone on standby. Okay, so Victoria, the transformation. We're actually talking about your transformation because the journey is just something. I mean, I'm yet to see about 10 people have this kind of transformation. Oh. Do people actually tell you you've transformed?
Yes, a lot. A lot of people, a lot of friends and individuals that have known me from way back. Some people actually even... I just get overwhelmed. I don't get surprised because I know the kind of work that I've put into myself and towards my growth. And it's all because, number one, the power of God that I've always had in me. You know, sometimes you could have the power of God and you're swayed off. Yeah. You know, as a result of life circumstances where you might have found yourself, you know, by no one's help, by your help, and you're confused, you know, but when you still hold that strength of God, He just channels you back so easily. Yeah. And oh my God, I have goosebumps all over me. The power of God is amazing.
Have you had to cut out some friends?
That's a very interesting question. I'm sure a lot of people have.
But you
even, oh yes, I have.
Because of your walk with God?
I have. Not necessarily the walk with God. The transition alone, I'm sure it's very intimidating to a few people who might have not even told you in the face. They just walk away or distance themselves because they probably want to digest, what is Victoria getting into? How is she? I have a couple of friends who, when something happens, they go like, how did you become this? How all of a sudden, no, Victoria, what are you turning into?
Do some of them say you are too known? What's the sound? Why are you too known?
I don't hear it.
Okay. You've blocked your ears.
I don't, yes. I don't hear it. Okay. But perhaps I see it in a few actions.
Right.
But it's not so loud, and I don't even pay attention to that.
That's good.
Because
That's good.
the goal is to arrive at the destination of the transformation. And so I don't really look at that. And that's what actually empowers me, though. It makes me keep moving, keep focusing on the goal.
Great, great, great. Now we are back into the VL exposure.
The VL exposure.
The VL exposure. I need to know, you know, yes, you've told us that because you are an entrepreneur, you feel you should help people. But how did it all start? Was it like you've always wanted to do it? Or you just woke up one day and you realized people were struggling as business owners and so you wanted to do it? What birthed it?
Okay, so number one, what birthed it actually is the love I have for humans as a humanitarian. I champion a lot of causes and advocacies and initiatives. And so I thought it was that, as usual, a case study of how people find it difficult building business strategies, selling, marketing their business, even in these hard times. I'm like, what can I do to help people to be able to also benefit from my platforms? And so the VL exposure came to mind to promote SMEs, startups, innovative ideas, and their CSRs. And lo and behold, I just spoke to a couple of companies like Special Eyes, Qualis Residence, Duty Lex, the Lubricant Solution, Amadia Shopping Center. All these companies, they champion a lot of corporate social responsibilities. They help the society, they help the community with their returns. And this is what we're looking for. If we're going through hard times and you don't help the community, how are you helping, asking people to come buy from you? And so when you show that compassion to your community, it just makes your business boom. I think that business, I always say this, that business has a little bit of humanity in there. It has a little bit of charity in there, because if you want to calculate your returns, you may not get it back as much as you know that you're helping or, you know, giving out a service to the consumers.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
And we will get to know why you decided to select these speakers. But before then, we want to take a quick break. But I want you to know, my studio audience, you know, on Wednesday we prepared smoothie, right? Now, Ya promised to give us ice cream today. So our ice creams will be served. And of course, as our ice creams are being served, I want to tell you that if you want to get Ya ice cream, they have so many branches. They have one at Westlands, one at Spintex, one at Kotobabi, Tema, East Legon, Palm Wine Junction, and Kwabenya. And of course, they are in Shell shops as well. So if you go to any of the Shell shops available, you can purchase your Ya. We'll take a quick break on this note. My guest is Victoria Lebene, and I'm enjoying every bit of this conversation.